Good evening. Been a little while since I streamed. Um, Actually, close to 2 weeks. Um, Basically, I was transitioning from the laptop back to the desktop. Maintenance took a few days longer than anticipated, though, which is why I didn't stream last week. But we replaced the bad video card, so I'm back on the desktop, which means the art streams can start again. Although, with us only being a few days away from May celebration, I've been putting more of a focus into getting things ready for that. Lots of Morrowind coming up and Star Wars coming up next month and for the next few weeks, because the Morrowind and Star Wars are celebrating a double anniversary in May. So there will be a month-long celebration on the stream of, well, I really enjoy those two things. So let's for today's stream, we're still in April, so it's not time for May celebration just quite yet. So I actually want to practice Zoo Tycoon again today, just because I'm getting a little more comfortable with exhibit setup, and I want to start the Mega Zoo project in June after May celebration is over. So today I'm gonna do Zoo Tycoon. I'm not really focused on making an organized zoo today. I just want to pick random animals. I think it'll be fine to put a sea creature next to an elephant next to a dinosaur. I mean, I want to practice as many exhibit types as I can today. Um, Not really focused on advanced exhibit types anymore, but I do definitely still need to work on. The one thing I suck at is not going bankrupt, so that's the big focus today, is trying to figure out how money works best in the game. So let's go ahead and get into Zoo Tycoon, and this will probably be, in fact, this will definitely be the last Zoo Tycoon stream until June, and then in June we'll start Mega Zoo. All right. So here we are at the main menu. So here we are. And you'll recall what we've done Zoo Tycoon in the past on this computer, and we actually started a zoo before, but we're actually going to start from scratch today, and Mega Zoo will be starting from scratch as well. So we're going to play, we want the freeform, basic grass, starting cash as much as it will let me. There we go. And let's clear the default starting path so that we have our own flexibility with which to build. All right. I want to get right in on the action for right now. And because we're doing a generic random zoo, we want paths. We want to pick neutral paths. What path do I like here? That one's good enough. Before I start, let's just do pathing around this little block here. This is where our zoo is going to start. And let's go ahead and bring research and conservation into play. And let's come over here and set our ticket cost to the lowest. We're going to set our ticket cost low. We're going to try setting a lower ticket cost. And we're not going to hold off on marketing for right now because we have nothing going on yet. And we want to actually come here and take that path to the corner of the zoo. And then we want to come over here. Which building is it? Ah, we have a restaurant. we'll place the restaurant towards the front of the zoo. And restaurants are cool because they actually cover bathroom, sitting, and food needs for the guest, which means we don't have to do any benches or restrooms in this general vicinity. And since that is the rainforest restaurant, let's go ahead and give it some matching terrain. Hide buildings. No, that's good enough. That's good enough. All right. So, and we'll leave the cost where it is. And of course, people aren't going to come to the zoo if we don't have any animals. And we don't have everything unlocked right away. That's what the holdup is. We need specific things. The help guide I read said there's supposed to be something called a compost building, which I hadn't seen in previous runs, so, or I hadn't been paying attention for it. Maybe it's one of the periodic unlocks. So let's go ahead, and for right now, because that's the rainforest building, let's pick a rainforest animal to start. Something relatively simple, I think. Chimpanzee, that's a good choice for a first exhibit. Or we could even start with our first dinosaur. But hey, yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's bring in the Allosaurus. Actually, there's one dinosaur fence that I don't think we have yet. Let's see. How do we look on fences? Yeah, no. I want to wait. I want to wait for one specific fence to appear before I start with dinosaurs. So I guess chimpanzee it is. Chimpanzee bars. Okay. So it's a rainforest animal. And we definitely need to get this into here. And the chimpanzees are base terrain is rainforest, so. All right. And now for the chimpanzee. And I usually do a dedicated staff person per exhibit, but you have to have an animal in there before you can do a dedicated staff person. And I know those chimpanzees are very unhappy right now. Oh, and while I'm here, we need maintenance people. I'm going to start with 2 just in case. So now we have a guy to take care of the chimpanzees. All right. Grass, dirt. Okay, the chimpanzees. I didn't think this through. Chimpanzees need a lot, apparently. Alright, that's enough grass and dirt. Shelters. We need bigger shelters. We can't do the shelters yet. Rocks, foliage, toys. We can at least put this in. So we need shelters, rocks, foliage, and more animals. So we'll go ahead and alright, that's enough of chimpanzees. They still need shelters, rocks, and foliage. Oh, those are the small bars, so even that's not correct. Alright, we're going to hold off until we get shelters. And hope they don't get too unhappy. Well, let's at least plant some foliage. I'm going to create a little forested area over here in the corner. I can't see them anymore. I need to click on one so I can see. It says they've got enough foliage. So let's bring in some rocks. I think that's the restaurant I'm hearing right now. Let's watch for the money for a bit and see if we're starting to come up yet. Actually, let's go for something special in this little spot here. I'm going to build my first marine tank. Maintenance man, get off of the grass, because the grass isn't going to be here anymore. And I'm leaving a space for the filter, which has not been unlocked yet. I'll have to rename that exhibit in a minute, because I forgot to consider which animal I want. Something small, though. We'll do our jellyfish exhibit. I know we started the previous zoo episode with the jellyfish exhibit, but I'm okay with doing that. Let's redraw the tank wall so that I can rename the exhibit. What did I just do? Oh, crud. Okay. Tell you what we need to do. Alright, we got more unlocks. Let's... now I'm doing all sorts of messing up. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. You know, forget about a name. Let's just get this put together. And they like the clam beds. And let's bring in a worker. Okay, doesn't. Alright. For some reason, Triceratops, one of the most well-known and popular dinosaurs, is a secret exhibit in this game. Alright. They blocked from adopting new animals until I make living conditions better for the ones I have. Understandable. Too shallow, foliage, and rocks. Alright, are they going to like any of my ocean rocks here? They don't like that rock. Wow, they're picky when it comes to rocks. Ah, screw the rocks. And forget the rocks. We're just going to do foliage. I'm going to try clustering foliage. Excellent exhibit design. Looks like... Alright. It does want a rock, but it doesn't like any of my rocks. Alright, it's well suited. We're leaving it. The jellyfish are okay. Let's come back and look at the chimpanzees. Shelters. The big thing is shelters. But is that enough to fix up the chimpanzees? Alright. We can adopt animals again. Alright. Let's do elephant. Do I have the elephants yet? No, but we can do giraffes. Umbrella thorn acacia. And then we want savanna for this. Did I get that one building yet? I'm not seeing it. So let's proceed with building a giraffe exhibit. Um, yeah, I'm just putting exhibits wherever for today because this is just a practice stream. Before I continue with the giraffes, let's just check on, yeah, the chimpanzees are happy. And I forgot to put this tank back down, so let's do that real quick. Yeah, let's put the water level at people height. Did I get my filters yet on that subject? I don't have my tank filters yet. Okay. In that case, we need to make the giraffes happy. Dirt, sand. Shelters, rocks, foliage. Umbrella thorn acacia. Okay. Shelters. They say there's too much sand terrain. Rocks and foliage. They don't like that one. Okay, one's enough. Foliage. I think that's the one I like. All right, we got the giraffes fixed. And you know what we're going to build here? We're going to build a dino recovery team right here in the middle because we're going to start bringing dinosaurs in a minute. All right, let's wait a minute and see how money handles at the end of the game month. Oh, they like my entrance fee. And we didn't hemorrhage too much money that month. But you know what? Let's begin the marketing. And let's figure out, who do we want for our first dinosaur? Not a lot of choices yet. But you know what we're going to do? It's time. It's time for the secret. It's time to show you the secret dinosaur I was telling you about. If it works, I've never actually tried. There's that. So now if we do an electrified fence, which I always do for dinosaurs. And supposedly, if you name an exhibit Cretaceous Corral, it's supposed to unlock the Triceratops. So let's come back to our animals. Yep, there it is. It too is savanna. So let's get our savanna terrain going. Now we have to wait for the eggs to hatch before we can see the suitability recommendations, unfortunately. And also, Triceratops is big enough to trample, which means there's a thing I do for the dinosaurs that can trample. All right. So let's and we need a scientist. You know what? I can't see the jellyfish. The jellyfish are a bit deeper, so this tank can go a bit higher than I usually do. Most of the sea creatures are surface animals, but I want to put this tank where we can actually see the jellyfish. So after the animals hatch, we'll be able to see what they need. It likes the grass tree. Do I have grass trees yet? I do not. The idea behind Mega Zoo is that we'll have enough exhibits that exhibit construction costs should sustain itself if I balance the money correctly. Still waiting for a filter for that tank over there. You know what, let's add a third maintenance worker while I'm here. I can't do anything to make that exhibit suitable until those eggs hatch. It's a weird mix of animals for today, I know, but I'm practicing things. You know, we don't have anything dangerous or scary yet, but while we still have guaranteed funds, I kind of want to start setting up my first show. Okay, we have hatching dinos. And wow, this exhibit is not good. Dirt, sand, and fresh water to begin. And I don't want to put... it's bad design to put water near the door, apparently. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. And let's bring in some sand. Foliage and rocks. We just got the more animals and objects pop up. Foliage. It doesn't have the tree it likes. Okay, it likes this one. I want to make sure I'm right on the grid lines for this one. Ah, we have an extra jellyfish. I try to cluster foliage and the exhibits of animals that can trample, which is medium to large size dinosaurs, basically. It's easier to deal with trample incidents that way. They won't trample if they're happy, though. So we're just creating a nice big row of trees in the Triceratops exhibit. Excellence in exhibit design, that's a good one. Good care for my animals, okay. So the Triceratopses are happy. But we got our tank filter. Let's drop it in. And let's look at our animal selections. We definitely got a lot more animals, but still not the one I want. Question though, is it time for the thing? What thing, you may ask? No, it's not time for that thing yet. You'll see what I'm talking about a bit later on. Alright. Let's just do another animal exhibit for now. But you know what? Let's bring in bear. So we need greystone and a Himalayan pine tree. There's a few different bear species in this game, but I can't imagine we'll get to more than one on today, so... we're going to call this bear. And we need to make the base terrain greystone. Alright, let's bring in our bears. Let's bring in a zookeeper. And suitability. Foliage, cliffs. I need snow, coniferous floor. Okay, if it needed this much percentage coniferous, why did it tell us that its base terrain type was gray stone? It lied to us. Oh well. Rocks, shelters, foliage. Okay, we'll start with this shelter. Well, with 3 different terrain types in play. Well, maybe not. And now some foliage. It doesn't have the tree that it's specified right now. So I need to play around with trees a little bit and find one. All right. Okay, it doesn't like any of those trees. Okay, this could be an issue. Let's go systematically through these trees. Until we find one it likes. You've got to like one of these trees. We looked at that one already. And those are dinosaur trees. Are there really no trees that it likes? That's not good if it doesn't like any of the trees. Look, it says it wants trees. And it doesn't like anything we have. We don't have the tree it wants. Alright, it says it likes cliffs. So let's go ahead and put some cliffs in and we'll revisit the trees later. Did I just tear down path? Crap, I just made it tore down path. I can't see what I'm doing. Let's redraw the paths, and then I'll come back and work on the bears. It looks like they got their paths set. Okay. Looks like they like their cliffs and valleys now. We'll have to come back for their trees later. They didn't like any of the trees I had available. We're not quite done with terrain forming yet. All right. So yeah, the next two animal exhibits the next two marine exhibits I really want to do, we don't have access to yet. I'm going to do a combination exhibit soonish. But let's see, what animal do we want to go for next? Yeah, we can do a sea turtle exhibit. And it says they like sargassum. Oh yeah, we have to place the tank first. We don't seem to be as spending money as fast, but we're building more things than before. Could just be that we're gaining money faster too. The entrance fee is a really good value. Plug in the filter. And figure out where the exhibit entrance is so that I can make... there it is. I like to be able to see what I'm doing. Now, foliage and rocks. They don't like that rock. Wow, they sure like a lot of grass in their water. Well, it's not really grass, it's something called sargassum. And the guests are continuing to say my park entrance fee seems cheap. You know what? New plan. We're stripping all these out and we're making an area, a dedicated area of the tank. Alright, let's try that again. I think it looks a little neater than floating it all over the place. My rock is there. Oh, that's the feeding area. Alright, we got the sea turtles happy. Now all that's left is to... Alright, there's eye level, which should be good enough for the turtles. Yeah, because eye level's even with the exhibit fences of the other animals. We've got more unlocks. Oh yeah, the bears. Almost forgot, they still need their trees. How do you fix trampled terrain? What does trampled terrain even look like? Oh well. Do we have their specific tree yet? They like that one. We'll leave that as is. I think that's the one they said they like. Alright, they have enough trees. But I have to see what is meant by trampled terrain. Alright, this clears my view. Give me one moment. I will research this real quick. Pause mode. I need to research this real quick. Because trampled terrain is different from trampled plants in the dinosaur exhibits. Alright, trampled. Trampled terrain in the terrain editor. I can't even see. Okay, it's not the snow area. All right, let's look at the Greystone area. Man, it's impossible to see with the terrain being in wonky shapes. All right, so it's in the coniferous area. Did that resolve it? Well suited. We found the trampled terrain. Let's bring our park back to life. Animals. We got a lot of it. Still not quite the animal I want to do here, but let me check something real quick. Before I go any farther. Oh, one more thing I want to look up. Let me just make sure. All right, let me just see something. Yep, the animals are getting happier now, so. Yeah, it looks like the turtles are surface animals. I don't need to adjust the tank height. All right, what was I looking at? There's a few different things I was looking at. I'm still not seeing quite the item I'm looking for. Let's see. There's lots of savanna animals. The savanna and the rainforest are going to be a massive section in Mega Zoo. You know what we're going to try? There's four secret animals. We're going to go for our second. You need a special item to unlock one of them. And this is going to be an odd-shaped exhibit right around the Dinosaur Recovery Team building. And still, we're not hemorrhaging money terribly. Oh, what happened to my trees? Oh, there they are. Yeah, we're fine. And yeah, that's electrified, so we can't see animals that are right by the fence. Yeah. So we're going to build... Okay, we won another award. I'm getting good at this. Well, I've played this before, and the practice runs over the last couple of weeks have helped. Supposedly, if I name an exhibit, you'll see. Let me just build out the exhibit first. That guy has been helping me. He must not be on Twitch today. Oh, we got a lot more fences now. Why am I down? So, I read that if you name an exhibit this, Xanadu, you unlock a secret animal. Let's find out if that's true. Animals. What would that be? A unicorn! We unlocked the unicorn! So we want base of deciduous forest, and they like Japanese maple trees. And we gave them a nice big exhibit to hide in. All right. Let's bring in our unicorns. That's cool. Animals in Zoo Tycoon, they don't usually do different models for the different genders, but it looks like in unicorns, males are black and females are white. That's cool, actually. Let's give them a zookeeper. And how many exhibits are we up to? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are we really only at 7 different ones? And I'm just over. Wow. We're still progressing well. All right. It's time to do their thing. Grass, fresh water. So first we need to bring in some fresh water and grass. And some grass. Oh, that was bad. I totally undid everything. It says the animal. Foliage, rocks, shelters. Yeah, we need to get the shelters up quickly. They don't like the stable. You would think that the horses would prefer the stable. What? All right, what type of shelter do they prefer then? All right, that'll have to do for shelters. Rocks. It says the exhibit is not big enough, so let's do some creative restructuring here. I need to make this exhibit a little bit bigger. Let me just make sure that exhibit is not, yeah, that exhibit is not recognized. And now we got to take all these guests. Well, I think they'll all walk towards the path. Looks like the guests are all walking towards the door. All right, so now we got to come back and try fixing it up again. All right. That was a little scary when we saw all the guests inside the resecured exhibit. All right. Now we're in business. Rocks and foliage. Let's see, what did it say? It like the Japanese maple? We don't have Japanese maple. But it likes this nice cherry tree. And it's got a nice pretty look matching the exhibit, so we'll go with it. We're getting close to another mass item unlock, I think, if my understanding of the game calendar is correct. We're overdue for another dinosaur, though. But at the same time, there's one particular sea creature I want to put next to the unicorns. Alright, says we're well suited. And the happiness is coming back up. We fixed up the unicorns. We've been spending a lot of money on exhibits, but we've got a lot more exhibits before. Alright, so I think the plan... Where are we? We're in late November in the game year. I forget if the new items are December or January. Yeah, that's cool. Let's look at my staff. I have 11 total staff. 3 maintenance workers I have. Yeah, that looks about right. Now, let's start bringing in a tour guide program. Each tour guide is responsible for 2 exhibits. So this tour guide Tour Guide 1 is responsible for the chimpanzees and the jellyfish. Tour Guide number 2 will take the black bears and the giraffes. And then Tour Guide number 3 is going to take the turtles and the Triceratops. More animals and objects, that's a good sign. Let's just see if we're ready for the 2 things I want to do next. We do have giant squids. That's being considered. Still waiting on one specific animal here. As for the other animal, are we in business with that yet? We got our mermaid statues. You know what that means. It's time to bring in the other secret animal. And there's one other secret animal, which is a Dinosaurus, which is a dinosaur era giant crocodile. But I'm not going to probably do it on this practice. We're going to build this tank here. And we're just going to call it, Mermaid. There's no way to get mermen in this game, but mermaids are a secret animal. Throw in our tank filter. Raise it up so we can see what we're doing. Alright, we're going to come here. We're going to come down to mermaid statue. And we're going to drop one in the tank. And if you drop a mermaid statue in a tank, the mermaid comes to life. Oh, before we do that, let's bring in a new tour guide. And this tour guide will be in charge of the mermaids and the unicorns. And we also need to bring in a staff for the unicorn. Now we can come here. And they like the sand dollar. More animals of the same type, and foliage, rocks, and shelters. Alright, let's do more animals of the same type. Alright, that message went away. Now they need a shelter. Oh, I like to get, I give them the pirate ship usually. Rocks. Come on, why are the mermaids, why are they swimming right where I want to try placing something? Oh, they have enough rock. Okay. In that case, let's just go for this. Let's get them foliage. What do they like? Sand dollar? There it is. Sea floor foliage isn't as obnoxious to look at as sea surface foliage. So we don't have to make them neat like we did on the turtle. Well, that's a purely aesthetic choice. It has no bearing on gameplay. Says it's feeling crowded by too many guests, so and the last thing we're going to do and now they're at eye level. And that's the best we can do with the mermaids. And now, let's go back to the savannah, shall we? Or shall I? We're going to pick one more regular animal, and then we're going to put a dinosaur in this corner here. With this tiny little block of ground, let's pick something. Oh, they're all pretty cool. Oh, Bigfoot. I don't remember Bigfoot being in this game. So many choices, and I am starting to get tired. We're not going to get to everything I want to do. But let's build some reindeer. Let us do a reindeer exhibit. And the reindeer will be paired with the dinosaur we put in here for the reindeer will be paired with the dinosaur on the tour guide. Grass, graystone. Alright, so first the terrain adjustments, it needs grass and graystone. So rocks, shelters, foliage, more animals of the same type that satisfy that requirement. Alright, that takes care of that. Shelter. Exhibit needs to be bigger, it says. I'm not going to worry about that. What do you mean not enough shelters? That's supposed to hold 4. Oh, it only holds 3. Alright, tell you what we're going to do here then. We're going to make it bigger, and we're going to make this a 6 exhibit. We're going to make it bigger along this axis, actually, since we want to put the other exhibit there. Alright, so yeah, I know they're running around. But thanks to what happened over in the unicorn exhibit, I'm a little more comfortable now with changing exhibit sizes on the fly. So this one is going to be called We want to, it's still the reindeer. Let's make sure we're still registered. So 3 of the reindeer. All 4 of the reindeer did end up back within the fence. And we have a couple, we have it, looks like a maintenance worker and a guest heading for the door. Let's make sure he gets out safely, and then we'll proceed with making this exhibit good for the reindeer. Let me just check the zookeepers. So 1 are... When you adjust an exhibit, I forgot you have to reassign the zookeeper, so let's do that. Alright. Now more animals of the same type. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put so grass and gray stone and more animals. Alright, terrain adjustments. And gray stone. Ah, shit, I did it again. Alright, we're getting there. Okay, it says it's got enough rocks. Alright. Now we need to find it a tree. And of course the correct tree is missing. But it's okay with this one, so let's proceed. Alright, that wasn't too bad. It says the exhibit is well suited. The reindeer are fine. But why is it still unhappy then? Oh, it's starting to bounce back. Give me one moment. Okay, how are we on time? I've been doing this for an hour and a half. Let's bring in another dinosaur. Who do we want to bring in? I kind of want to do one of the big guys if we have them available. We don't have the Tyrannosaurus yet. But let's do an Allosaurus. Yeah. They use a rainforest floor. Actually, we just got the more animals pop up. So let's just take a look and see if... We're still going with the... We got a couple more things. But we're going with the Allosaurus. And what did it say? Rainforest? Now let's bring in our fence. We got electrified iron bar. That's what I was waiting for the big dinosaurs. Alright. And obviously they need to hatch before we can start working on them. And they like the fern bush. Alright. Now we need to bring in our scientist. And where are we in proximity to the other dinosaur? The other dinosaur is over here. We're close to the dinosaur recovery team. And then let's bring in our next tour guide who will cover the Allosaurus and the reindeer. While we wait for our Allosaurus eggs to hatch, let's check our reindeer. Our reindeer are happy. An hour and a half. Alright, here we go. We're waiting for it to process. Alright. Grass, fresh water. So starting with terrain adjustments. Freshwater. Rocks, shelters, and foliage. It says it wants more rocks too. That's not enough rocks. Alright, that's enough rocks finally. Let's give it some plants, because they all like plants. And there's a trample risk right now, so let's try and cluster these plants. Alright, it says that's enough plants for it. We have an interesting assortment of animals, I will say that. Alright, I've been going an hour 41. Yeah, let's. I don't know why the Allosauruses are not bouncing back, but I guess they'll get there eventually. Let's check our animal supplies. We got the great whites. We got the great whites. So for our final exhibit tonight, we're building sharks. We are building a shark tank. So we'll build the exhibit tank here. So this section here will be the exhibit tank. And I'll call it shark. Baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark. All right, that's enough of that. Filter. And the reason I left the path open over here is because the sharks actually get a show tank. You can give the great white sharks a small show. And I just dropped that marine specialist right in the action. Foliage, rocks, and a shelter. Okay. And you know what? I'm also going to make the tank a little bit deeper. Shelter. We'll give it the sunken ship. That's kind of a shark cliche. Rocks, you know the deal at this point. It says it likes barnacles. I could have sworn I saw them earlier. We don't have barnacles? Ah, there they are. This is our last exhibit of the day, so the sharks won't get a tour guide. When we're done with this tank, we'll go check out on our Allosaurus to see if they've recovered. Wow. All right. The sharks are happy. Alright, now they're at eye level. And now we're going to come over here. The Allosaurus did recover. So those our little bushes over there are not in trample danger right now. We are going to build now you'll see why I left the edge open. I think that's far enough. And we'll call this, we'll just call it show because it's my last tank of the night. It's got a filter. Gotta draw a little path around it. The show's not going to activate until I have this set up anyway, so. And we'll find our shark specialist. And we will assign the shark specialist to the show as well. And the sharks only have 2 attacks. We'll set the, yeah, well, did I say attacks? I meant tricks. And there's nothing grayed out, meaning they can't add more. So the last thing to do is to come down here and add our show stuff. I'm not really sure how backdrops work. All I know is that this show is not going to work until I put this in. Oh, we have almost 500 guests. And we are out of money. Let's see how money game goes for 1 game month. And start thinking about finding someone to raid. Did we ever get that one building that I was looking for? No. So I think the play for Mega Zoo is to start with the marine section so I can get show tanks up for the money gain potential. Possibly. But yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it for today. So here is the zoo we built today. We have the sharks. Next to the sharks, we have the turtles, the bears, giraffes, Triceratops, jellyfish, chimpanzee, so yeah, when I say shark, turtle, bear, giraffe, Triceratops, jellyfish, chimpanzee, unicorn, mermaid, reindeer, and Allosaurus. We built a nice little varied zoo today. Not really cohesive or anything, but today was about practice. So yeah, I'm satisfied with what we did today. Ah, sorry, I didn't see you enter. I'm sorry. I'm actually getting ready to end, but today was just about practicing random exhibits. Um, so I just picked random animals too. But yeah, so we'll be back to the we'll be starting Mega Zoo in June, but May is going to be for Star Wars and Morrowind on this channel. Let me find a raid. Who's on? Ah, yes. Yes. Okay, I know who we're raiding. We are going to raid Justin and Evelyn tonight. They're a talented music duo. Actually, they're a couple now, I think they announced. Let me just have a good night, and I'll be back soon. I know I got at least 2 more streams planned for this week. So let's go rate Justin and Evelyn, enjoy their music, and have a good night. Alright, raid initiated. Alright, raid initiated. I didn't do that right. Raid initiated. I didn't do that. All right, good. All right. For real, have a good night now. We got the raid going. I didn't do that. All right, good. All right. For real, have a good night now. We got the raid going. I didn't do that. Okay, my raid's not showing up for. I'm bugging out right now. It says I don't have an active raid. All right. Okay, my raids seem to be bugging out tonight for some reason. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right. Have a good night, everyone. I think I fixed it. So have a good night. All right.
Green, do you think you can make that happen? Uncle Evie! Ragger, I'm thank you for being here. I'm glad that